this is Fox Nomad, and today I want to help you travel smarter by trying to help you make the decision of whether you should get the Mavic 2, the Mavic 2 Zoom, or stick with the Mavic 1 Pro. So first, let me give you some background. So normally when a new tech product comes out, let's say a new iPhone or a new Pixel, then what happens is you get a better product, one that's more refined, usually has better features. Let's say the new iPhone is $1,000, they come out with another one, that one will be $1,000 and they'll drop the prices of the other iPhones. Now what's happened with DJI, and the more I've thought about this, is it creates a very interesting purchase decision, because they just released the Mavic 2 and the Mavic 2 Zoom. But the Mavic 2 Zoom is $1,250 and the Mavic 2 is $1,499. That's $1,500. And the Mavic 1, the Mavic original, is still $1,000. So is it worth it to spend extra money to get a newer drone? Are those features worth it? Well, you kind of have to break it down in two ways. So before I get to the Mavic 1 versus the Mavic 2 Pro and the Mavic 2 Zoom, let me talk about the DJI landscape as it stands now. So essentially what you have with DJI is you've got a whole slew of drones. Drone technology is pretty new. So what you're seeing is a lot of test cases, so a lot of first run products. So there's the Mavic Air, there's the DJI Spark, there's the Mavic Original, there's the Mavic Platinum. There are a whole bunch of professional grade drone cameras, and then there's the Phantom series, which sort of sits in between professional cameras and the smaller portable cameras. So there are really four major points that you need to consider before you're getting a drone. The first one is the video and the photo quality. The second one is the portability. The third one is the battery life. And the fourth one is the price. So for a lot of people, depending on how you rank those different criteria, that's going to help you decide or push you in the direction of the DJI drone you should get. Now that we have those four criteria established, let's talk about the DJI landscape as it stands now. So at a high level, basically what you have is at the very low end, you have the DJI Spark, which is a very small drone. It's got about 15 minutes of flight time. It's essentially a very cool flying selfie camera. It has average video quality. You need to buy the remote controller separately. It's about $400 in there, but you need the remote, and that's extra a couple $100, and so on. So you have that. So then as you work your way up from there, you've got the DJI Mavic Air, which is a smaller version of the Mavic Pro series. The video quality isn't as great, the battery life isn't as great, but it's small and portable, and it sits between the Spark and the Mavic series. Then you get into the Mavic series, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. But first, after the Mavic series, then you get into the Phantom and the Inspire series. Those are larger drones. They're more geared for professional videos, and those aren't very portable at all. So if you're looking at those drones, typically you've done some research before, and then you've seen that those drones are going to give you the very best video quality. So you're prioritizing video quality over portability. Now, if you travel a lot, portability is going to be something that's very important to you. So the Phantom series and all of those above are not very portable, so you can scratch those off your travel list unless you really want to shoot very high quality videos, and portability isn't as important. But if you travel frequently, portability is going to be something that's important to you. If you're looking at the DJI Spark or the Mavic Air, those aren't really at the quality of the Mavic series. So basically what I'm trying to say is that the Mavic series sits in this nice sort of overlapping area between portability and quality. Now we can get into the differences between the DJI Mavic 1, the DJI Mavic 2, and the DJI Mavic 2 Zoom. So now we have these three Mavic Pro drones, and the simplest way, the TLDR version of this is the Mavic 1 and the Mavic 2 Zoom are essentially the same drone, but the Mavic 2 has a better lens and zoom. Let's start with that. So if you look down at the breakdown of these two drones, they have almost the same battery life, almost the same video quality, but the Mavic 2 can zoom. It's got a 24 to 48 millimeter zoom lens, but in my opinion, that's not such a great feature to have because you are filming video on a drone. The advantage you get from the zoom is somewhat negated because you have a flying camera that you can basically move around in 3 dimensions. So the zoom is a nice feature to have, but remember, if you get the Mavic 1, if you want to zoom in on something, in most cases you can just fly up closer to it, or the video quality is high enough to where you can really crop in when you're doing editing later. So I don't think zoom is some sort of great feature or deal-breaking feature on a drone, especially a drone that has basically the same specs as the Mavic 1. Now there are differences, and I don't want you to nitpick in the comments. I know there are differences in terms of battery life. There's 4-minute difference according to the specs. The video quality is slightly better, it has different color ranges and all of that, but if we're talking at a high level, basically they're very similar drones. They're almost the same except the zoom feature. Now the Mavic 2 Pro is a little bit different. It has a better lens, it's got a Hasselblad lens, it has a much bigger sensor, and it has a much larger color range, and a host of other features. Now, in terms of video quality, remember that's one of the 4 things that I mentioned that really make or break a drone decision for most people. That's a big jump up from the Mavic 1. So the video quality, and you can take a look at some other video tests that other people have done online, you can see the difference. So the Mavic 2 Pro does take much better video. The video quality is a significant jump from the Mavic 2 Zoom and the Mavic 1. Those names are really confusing. But either way, so that's a big jump up in quality, but it's also a $500 difference from the Mavic 1. That's a big jump. You're going from $1,000 to $1,500. That's a big jump up in price for that jump in quality. So essentially, if you're looking at that decision, now you're in the price range of the Phantom series. So you're starting to get into the Phantom series, and your decision should be based there on portability. If video quality is more important to you than portability, and you're looking at the Mavic 2 Pro, then you should probably be taking a look at the Phantom series as well, because they're not as portable, but you're going to get a lot better video quality and a host of other features, and you're starting to get into the same price ranges. If portability is more important to you than video quality, so if you travel very frequently, you don't have a lot of space in your backpack, and so on, then you're going to want to look at the Mavic 2 Pro. It's still a pretty big jump in price, so if price is where your scale is at, then I still think you can stick with the Mavic 1. I still think it's a great purchase. I think the video quality is excellent. I think it's got great battery life, great features, it's very portable, and it's a solid product. I honestly think that the Mavic 2 series are an incremental update, and if you look at some other drone channels that I follow, they tend to agree. I'll link to those in the description below. And another thing to note is that the Mavic 2 series, so those 2 drones, the Zoom and the Mavic 2 Pro, are heavier. So the Mavic 1, the original Mavic, is 700 grams. The new Mavic 2s are 900 grams, which is a pretty significant jump in terms of weight. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you travel with a lot of things in your backpack, you already have a lot of electronics, laptop, tablet, camera, and so on, then that's going to make a difference on your back, especially if you've got that backpack on in a lot of airports, a lot of layovers. That kind of weight is going to make a difference, and the weight is not giving you significantly more battery life. So if that was a weight difference that was going to result in a 45-minute flight time, it would be worth it. But for a 4 or 5 minute difference in flight time, that's really on the spec sheet. One feature that I do like on the Mavic 2 remotes though is the slider. So on the Mavic 1 remote, you have a slider that can put you into sport mode. I don't use sport mode too much, but I do use tripod mode a lot. And the Mavic 2 series now has a tripod slider, so you can go from regular flying to sport to tripod mode directly from the remote. And I think that's a great feature to have. It's a feature that I use a lot. I use tripod mode a lot, and it's way easier to have a slider than to have to play with the settings on your phone when you're trying to set up a shot or fly the drone. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on the Mavic 1 versus the Mavic 2 series and the landscape and the environment of all of the DJI drones. In my opinion, I still think under most cases, if you are looking at the Mavic series, you should still stick with the Mavic 1. And I think that's going to be the case for the next couple months. until the prices change or DJI comes out with another Mavic soon, which I don't expect. Oh, and if we're talking about the Mavic Platinum, you just forget about even thinking about getting that one. You can use the low noise propellers that I've reviewed up here somewhere, because the Mavic Platinum is a fighter drone. It's got a little bit longer battery life, but you can get those features just by buying some of the low noise propellers over here. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you're down there, if you like this video or found it useful, please leave me a like, a thumbs up, and if you really like this video, please hit the subscribe button. I'll have new videos for you every week. Thanks again very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.